going on, everybody? And welcome to part 24 of my playthrough for Plants vs. Zombies. In the last episode, we were just, collecting a few new plants, fending off some zombies on the roof. Nothing big, no biggie. And we did actually run into a new zombie, the Catapult Zombie, who I thought was the burger-pulting zombie, but he actually just shoots basketballs. I was hungry then, but now I'm all good, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. We also got a couple new plants, one of which was the garlic, which I showed off a tactic how to use the garlic, and it kind of completely changes the way, not completely, but changes the way you would set up your plants. And I also got the umbrella leaf, which is a pretty good plant. I don't really praise it enough, and it doesn't really get enough use. I don't think most people choose not to use it, but when it kind of comes down to it, the umbrella leaf is kind of something you want to use on the roof levels, especially if you're having trouble with bungee zombies and catapult zombies. If these zombies are really messing you up, the umbrella leaf is your choice. So we're going to start things off here, pick the kind of plants we normally pick, and I think I'm just going to go cabbage pults this time. I don't know, maybe cannel pults I guess we can use too. So we're also going to use umbrella leaf, obviously, because I said I'd show that off. The roof levels are usually a little bit more difficult for me to pick out plants if you haven't noticed. There's just less to use really, because all the plants you got, kind of most of the pea shooters, the pea shooter upgrades, kind of useless. And I usually don't use walnuts or tall nuts. So pretty much, and also cactuses are useless too, and so are blowers. So it's kind of not as good. And I don't think starfruit is as good either. So you're kind of limited if you can't tell. And I should have planted that sunflower somewhere else. I keep forgetting to do that. Just plant it somewhere wild, where no one would plant it. That would just be great. Just to be different. I don't know. Probably when we do the survival levels, I'll do risky things, like closing my eyes and picking out random sunflowers, plants, and just doing random stuff just to make things more difficult on myself. This isn't a hard game if you haven't noticed. It's a real-time strategy game. It's not difficult per se, but if you're not, if you just play like an idiot, you're gonna lose. You will lose. But it's not hard to play like a common sense person, am I right? And overall, I think this game is I know it's been a game that's been put on iPhones and iPhone app and the kind of thing you play on a go, and it's also a hardcore MLG game. That'd be cool if Plants vs Zombies an MLG game. Can you imagine a versus Plants vs Zombies? It'd kind of be like StarCraft, wouldn't it? StarCraft is how it's such a big. I think StarCraft is probably the biggest competitive game in the world. I'm gonna say StarCraft might be. I'm not totally sure. I know there are competitive games like Halo and Gears and Call of Duty's made its way up in the ranks, and fighting games obviously are huge. But I want to say StarCraft is the biggest, since it's South Korea's sport. It's their main thing, and people have actually moved to South Korea to get better. I think that's just crazy. And I don't agree with everything how the MLG community works and how competitive some people are, but to an extent you kind of got to stick together, because at heart we're all gamers, and not everyone is a cool person, but So I'm going to lay down the umbrella leaf right here, and I just want to demonstrate that it can. Here's how you want to set it up. You want to set up the umbrella leaf in the middle of a 3x3 area. That's what it can cover. Umbrella leaves can cover 3x3 areas around it. So when a catapult zombie comes in and shoots that way, or a bungee zombie comes down on top of it, any of the plants protected around the umbrella leaf will be safe. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. The thing is, I'm not sure if it's the best idea. It's definitely not the best idea to put down a cabbage pult and then get rid of it because you're an idiot, and I shouldn't have done it that way, but if you're going to lay them down, you should pre-plan around that, where you're going to put your umbrella leaf. So right now, all the rows we have there are already protected from bungee zombies and catapult zombies. Not so much from the cone zombie making his way up here, but we can ignore him, am I right? And I don't know, the umbrella leaf. If I had to rate it, I'd rate it a 3 out of 5, out of 5 stars. I thought about doing that when I played through this game to kind of rate plants, but I could just tell you what I rate them, but not. How can you rate the sunflower? You know what I mean? I guess you could rate it a 5 because without it you'd be done, and you could rate something like the pumpkin a 5 because it's so versatile, and I guess I would. But if I had to rate the umbrella leaf, I would rate them a 3 because. The thing is, I usually don't run them just because I feel like they're kind of a waste of space and sun. Usually I would take out bungee zombies. Usually I just let bungee zombies come through. They don't bug me too much. I just let them come through and I usually come out okay. Actually, I've never had a real problem with a bungee zombie. Actually, I think they're pretty funny, so kind of a zombie I sort of almost like. And then we have the catapult zombies, which, if you're not too good at taking out things with TSPPs, the catapult zombies can be really bad because they can destroy your sunflowers from the back and everything from the back, and if they're not getting attacked directly, they have a decent amount of HP and they can last for a while and really tear out your defenses from backwards in. You know, inside out, but backwards in. Is that even a thing? I just made that thing. And the other thing about the Umbrella Leaf Zombies, the Umbrella Leaf plants, is they're kind of an investment, like with most defensive plants like that. I mean, they obviously can't do anything on their own, they're just a defense plant. But if you're the kind of person who's having trouble with Catapult Zombies or Bungie Zombies, and you're losing 100 sun worth of plants to them anyways, you might as well throw down the Umbrella Leaf. You know what I mean? If you're losing that sun anyways, you might as well throw these guys down and just protect them right off the bat. And if it's a sunflower you're losing, you're obviously losing time where you could have been picking up sun. So in the long run, it would be better to run an Umbrella Leaf. In my opinion, I usually don't, just because I like to have more offensive out there just to move things along quicker. But they're okay, they really are. They're not that bad. And, ooh, that was kind of close, huh? Thank God for Pumpkin. No, seriously, like, God, what would we do without Pumpkin? I don't even know what we do. And, I don't know. Umbrella Leaf, like I said, they're okay. I feel like they're one of the less, like, looking plants, you know, because they don't have, you can kind of tell they actually have, like, a little face. They kind of look like mushrooms from Mario, you know what I mean? And, hold on, wait a second, okay. Okay, stopping with the butter, anyways. That's great. That's why I do love Kennel Zombies. Kennel Zombies. Man, I'm turning all my plants into zombies. It's like I've switched sides here. The zombies have gotten to me. No! But, no, like, if you see the little face on the Umbrella Leaf, you see how it's like a little mushroom from Mario, you know, like the little face without the mouth? I think it's kind of cute, but I don't know. I usually like plants with more expression, like, even the pumpkin kind of has, like, that carved in, like, kind of creepy little smile, and I like that. And if you notice carefully, all the plants, everything in this game has a face on it, like even the pots that the plants are sitting on top of right now. Look closely, you'll see a little face there. Kind of cool, huh? I pointed that out to you. How awesome am I? But no, it's something I didn't see originally, and then I kind of was looking at them one time, and I was like, hey, did they have a face? Oh, that's kind of cool. So everything does kind of have a face, even though, I mean, like a lily pad has a face too, so that kind of makes sense, but at the same time, you wouldn't think something like a pot, an inanimate object, would have a face, would you? At least I wouldn't. And ooh, Catapult Zombie. You're going down, Catapult Zombie. Like I said, I'd rather just, well, if you can do that, if you can manage to land butter on him, that'll mess him up a little bit. And I could have sworn those were hamburgers. I mean, now it makes sense that they're basketballs, because he's got the whole basketball thing, and it's a cute little contraption, but... See, now you get to see the Umbrella Leaf in action. How awesome is that? It just, like, it expands to, like, 20 times its size and protects everything here. So if you wanted to, you know, make a... like, keep the defenses up, like, see, watch, this Bungie Zombie doesn't have a chance. It's, like, funny because he's coming down, he thinks he's gonna get us, he's like, woohoo! And then, boing! And he's gone. I don't know, I love that. Actually, you know what, they kind of sound like Ewoks from Star Wars, don't they? Just a teeny bit, like... but yeah, if you were gonna run the whole Umbrella Leaf setup, you would put one where I just put that cabbage bowl. That's where you'd want to put yours next. I usually don't run more than 2, just for the rows in the back. Because the front rows sometimes go. They're the more acceptable loss kind of row, I guess you could say. I know that sounds horrible, but, you know, it's more likely we're gonna lose the front row. The back row is usually the row I don't want to lose because they're kind of our last line of defense, and they also have our sunflowers, which, you know, sprouts are our ammo, I guess you could say, for our plants, and without that we wouldn't have any more plants. So if you're going to run Umbrella Leaf, I would recommend you put them in the back, but if you didn't want to, just keep spreading them out in a 3x3 area. You know, like look at the square, like a 3x3 area on the square, and then do another 3x3 on the square. It's pretty easy to do, it's not difficult, but I think, I don't know, I would use them to protect something I really needed. Like if I was using twin sunflowers, or had something I really didn't want to lose, you know, like twin sunflowers because they cost so much sun and Catapult Zombies kept coming up, I would use Umbrella Leaf. But, yeah, usually not. And man, ladder zombies. I think we can all agree that ladder zombies, anyone who's played the game, is... it's because they ruin your defenses kind of thing. But Jalapeno takes care of them just fine. I think... I want to say Jalapeno is my favorite TSPP just because of how quick it goes down and how many zombies it can take out if you do it right. Cherry Bomb is probably the best for the roof levels, which I should actually be running here. I should have probably grabbed Cherry Bomb as opposed to Garlic, because now I'm not going to be using Garlic with the setup I have. But, always run at least one TSPP. Squash, Cherry Bomb, Jalapeno, something. Squash can actually be... I don't think there's a limit to how many, zombies Squash can take out in one go. Like, if you have, like, 20 on one square, Squash can take out all 20, if I'm not mistaken. And even if he doesn't take them all out, he'll, like, at least get rid of some of their defense. Like, if a cone zombie is there or something, he'll take out most of their life. And I don't think Catapult Zombies ever attack in the front. I think they always attack the back rows, so that's less of a reason. Like, the only reason to put, speak of the devil, the only reason to put Umbrella Leafs up front is for Bungee Zombies. No! He took one! Can you imagine what happens to that plant? No, let's not think about it. Like, where does he take him, you know what I mean? Like, we're on our roof. Like, where's he gonna take him? But you can't, like, you can see he's getting damage right there. It takes, you'd have to, that wasn't nearly enough to take him out. They have a decent amount of life, like, at least as much as a normal zombie wouldn't. Oh, well, they're getting through a little bit. Oh, no, I have no sun. This isn't good. Uh-oh, I'm gonna, yeah, go Squash. I choose you. Haha, yes. But no, the Bungee Zombies have a bit of life. You can kill them while they're down there, but they're only there for, like, a few seconds, which isn't enough if you only have, like, 3 or 4 plants on them. I love that noise. This game has some great sound effects, really, it does. And, I don't know, it's they're not really, I feel like it's an acceptable loss to lose a plant to a Bungee Zombie or have a Bungee Zombie come down and drop something. If you really are having trouble, like I said, use an Umbrella Leaf, or put it where I put it. Now I have, like, the middle protected, so at least that's something. And you can, like I said, you can use Jalapeno on the, even though he's in the air, you can use Jalapeno on, or any TSPP on Bungee Zombies and then take them out if they're really bothering you and just one comes down and you don't want to put out an Umbrella Leaf and take up a spot. That's kind of what it comes down to. Do you want to sacrifice the spot and a little bit of sun? It's kind of up to you. In my opinion, I don't usually do it. Like I said, I only do it if they're in the back. I usually don't put them up front, but I have this one up front just because, you know, we could. And man, I'm surprised I'm not doing so great on sun. I guess I should be winning 2 sunflowers, twin sunflowers. Like when they drop them off the zombies, that's alright. When they take them, it's only bad when they take a really good plant. Oh no, ladder zombie, god no. Oh, I don't have any sun! Crap! Squash, come on, Squash! Okay, that's the only problem with the ladder right there. And like I said, there are 2 ways to get, or actually 3 ways to get rid of the ladder. You can use a jalapeno, no, not a jalapeno. You can use a cherry bomb, or you can get rid of the pumpkin itself. But it doesn't matter now because we're done. And look, we got a new plant. How awesome is this? And it's a sunflower again. We already have sunflowers. I guess this is more of a daisy. Marigold gives you silver and gold coins. Now, in the words of a great LPer, this is a very tempting plant. And it is, and I completely agree that this plant is very tempting. It works just like a sunflower, it costs the same amount of sun, we put it down, and every once in a while it'll sprout out coins. And you already might be thinking like, oh, this is so great, I can make a lot of money off this. And you sort of can, but you need to remember that, like I said, it's a tempting plant. It takes up a spot, and it does no good for defense or offense. It's completely a neutral plant that just sprouts money. So if you're going to use it, I wouldn't recommend using it on these levels. I really wouldn't. They're better for, like I've been saying with everything, survival. Survival this, survival that. It's so great. Oh my god, what is that thing? If I can draw your attention to the right side of the screen, you'll notice a gigantic zombie. Gigantor. These things are mean. They are tough. They're not my least favorite zombie because they're not annoying, but oh man, they are not a zombie you want to just mess with. And see that little zombie on his back too? He's not exactly a pushover himself. They are a very deadly duo combo, and they are not something you want to mess with. And especially right after they just gave us the Marigold, like it's just low because these guys will tear through your defense. I mean squash. Literally, they will squash your defenses and keep going. And the Marigold, like I said, tempting plant. I'm gonna use it now just to show it off, but I'm gonna like show it off and then get rid of it because like you don't really have enough time to make a lot of money here in just normal levels. Like I said, survival levels that go on for a while are much better to use them on. And there is actually a money making trick with the Marigold that I'll show off later. Probably one of the last videos I do, but if you're having trouble with money, we'll get to that. I will show that off. But for now, you can see I'm getting through just fine with like no money. You don't need the money to get through. And yeah, I guess I'll run this setup right here. So hopefully we can make it through this. I would hope. Because, like I said, the gargantuan zombies, they are as mean as they look, if not meaner. They're not like Doomsday, but they're pretty tough. They're the zombies pretty much like Ace in the Hole, like the thing the zombie's been holding off on us for a while. And it's amazing that they can even stand on our roof. It's actually kind of scary. But like I said, and it's kind of horrible. Usually, like what they've been doing is they either give us a new plant, which is a solution to a problem we're about to have, or we're having a little bit of trouble with a certain new zombie, and then they give us a new plant to counteract that zombie. or they give us something that we could have used a little while ago and now we have it, so it's like, okay, we've been playing without it, but now we have this to kind of help us out with that, or an upgrade to a plant we had recently, like the walnut to the tall nut. But Marigold is the best word to use is tempting. It really is. It's a tempting plant, and I've used it a little bit before when I got it, but it's not a good plant to use. It's really not, especially on the roof where you have so little space to begin with. Unless you're really dying for money, and I promise you, getting money, there are better ways to get money. Even just playing mini games is a better way to get money, or just playing the game on its own is probably a better way. I guess if you really want to throw, like if you think you can handle it, you might want to throw 1 or 2 marigolds in the back, like on the very back line of the sunflowers, if you think you can handle it. But I wouldn't recommend like having a whole row. You think like, oh yeah, I can just put a whole row of them, and I can put a... No, you can't. It's especially when they just gave you the new zombie that we're about to encounter. It is a tempting plant, and I wouldn't recommend using it. I'm going to show off what it does, obviously, but we really won't see it again until survival mode. Which I know I keep talking about it, but we will get there. We're almost done too. I mean, look at this. We're on 5-8. We only have 2 more levels to go. This is the end. This is the home stretch. We're almost done. We fended off the zombies on all fronts. We can take them here. We can do this. I think, even though the zombies aren't quite out of tricks yet. And, you know, like I said, I don't think, if you're having trouble with this, I mean, if you've been watching my playthroughs aren't really guides. That's why I call them playthroughs, not walkthroughs, not guides. But really, any playthrough you can use as a guide, because, think about it, if you've watched someone get through the game, even if they got through sloppily, horribly, like me, they still got through the game, and you can mimic what I do, so that's kind of what it is. I would never say my playthroughs are a guides or a walkthrough. I might do one someday of something like that, but I know I give tips as I play, and that's, you know, that's just something I like to do. I like to give tips, I like to give my thoughts while playing. That's what I do. That's the whole fun of it. But if I was ever going to do like a walkthrough, a guide, it would be more precise. It probably wouldn't even be a live playthrough. I'd probably play through the game as best as I could, like make it perfect, and then match up decent commentary later to make it sound like, okay, now you're going to go here, you're going to turn left at this precise spot, you're going to do a backflip. Something like that. But this game, like I said, it's not really a game that even requires a guide. It's a game that you need to play for yourself and have fun, like most games are. If you're really having trouble with the game, but, you know, this isn't a hard game. It's not. Later, there are some challenging things, obviously. I love these game developers, PopCap Games. They really did a good job on this because they made it easy enough for the casual person to play. But as you get on and going later, and the second playthrough through the game, it gets a little bit more challenging. I never say this game was hard, but this game is challenging, and I like that. I like games that are challenging but not hard. Because there are some games out there that I will never finish on hard difficulties, like, just for example, Call of Duty World at War. There's a game on Veteran, the hardest difficulty, I will never finish because the game cheats. Let's face it, anyone who's played it, it cheats. And if you haven't, I dare you to go YouTube it right now and go watch. Like, type in Call of Duty Call of Duty World at War Rage Quit. You should watch that. That'll pretty much sum it up. And I don't think I ever linked that other video to the Plants vs. Zombies one. I should probably do that right after this, because that was a pretty funny video. There are some good videos out there for Plants vs. Zombies. I've seen a lot of good ones, and I'd recommend it if you've... So far from my playthrough, I've actually heard a couple of people say, like, oh, you inspired me to buy this game and everything. That's great, because it's a good game. There are just some games in your lifetime you need to play. And oh my god, this is one of them. Gargantuan Zombie, here he comes. I really recommend putting all of your forces to concentrate on him, because, like I said, he will use that telephone pole in his left hand to smash. And once he's lost a certain amount of health, he'll throw that little guy, and we don't want that little guy to move anywhere, because he'll throw him down the field into the, back 3 rows, and he will slowly eat your plants and then run through. He's the fastest zombie in the game, next to the Zolfin zombie, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, he goes down, yeah! The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Squash gets the 1 squash, 0 for Gargantuan Zombie. Yeah! Now, right there, you gotta tell it took a little bit of sun to take him down, and obviously we didn't want him to get close, because he literally will flatten our plants. Nothing, not even the tall nut can stop him. I think the tall nut actually can take a few hits, but after that it gets flattened just like everything else. So that's pretty bad. Spikeweed is actually a good thing to use on Gargantuans, believe it or not. It actually takes a couple hits for the Gargantuan to mow it down, and the Gargantuan won't walk over it, which has its pros and cons. So, okay, Marigold. There it is. You saw, poof, money, just like a sunflower, just like I said. Okay, we're not going to use that anymore because... no, really, like, the Marigold, I guess I can kind of leave it out there for now, but... I don't recommend running Marigold on these levels. I really don't, especially if you're having any trouble at all. Even if you've been a pro and you're like, I've been doing great, better than you, I'm better at you than this playthrough, I can use Marigolds. You're going to throw Marigolds out there and you're going to get your ass kicked. Like, they're, like I said, tempting plant, very good for money. Not even the best way to make money, but it's good to make a little bit of extra money on the side. But you won't see me running Marigold after this. You might see it in survival a little bit, but I usually don't, just because it's not the best way to make money. It's not the way I like to. Maybe if you got an extra slot, like you're like, okay, I got nothing else I want to plant, I can just throw one of these out. Like, that's cool, but I still wouldn't recommend them, especially like where I have it right now. But it does get you a little bit of money if you really want to work up to like some small things. It's not the way to get lots of money to get bigger things. Just small things, like yeah, if you want to like maybe buy a rake every time you like using the rake, that's cool. You can do that. And yeah, the Gargantuan zombies, I don't recommend using Spikeweed up here on the roof. It's not a good combo really, but the best thing to use on them is really just to keep, when you see a Gargantuan zombie is going to be in the lineup, keep Jalapeno and Squash on you. They're a beautiful combo. Jalapeno to weaken them, and then a Squash to take them out. I think they're so strong that no TSPP on its own can take out a Gargantuan, but if you've got a couple of plants on it with a TSPP, he'll fall pretty easy. The only real challenge is when there's a lot of zombies with a Gargantuan, or like more than one Gargantuan at a time, and yes, they do that. It can be pretty deadly in later, harder levels. Like I said, more challenging levels. Final wave! Yeah! Let's do this. Bungie zombies are so great. You can even put out like plants like that and eating a roll like that. Oh! No, I guess the little, like, I forget what they're called. I think they're like mini zombies or something. They do have a name. They are a pain in the ass. They're not hard to take out. As you can see, they have the least amount of health for any zombie, but they are a pain in the ass. So I recommend dealing with them almost quicker than you would with the Gargantuan, because at least the Gargantuan moves slow. And there we go. Yeah, defending our roof like boss. Awesome. And we actually get one of my favorite plants in the game. And the most powerful, one of the most powerful too, Melon Pole. Does heavy damage to groups of zombies. Not just one zombie, but a group, and a lot of damage. Now, obviously, to counterbalance this, it is a lot of sun. The most sun cost plant we've seen yet, so it obviously weighs itself out. But we will be using this on the roof. It's probably one of the best plants to run, especially with the lineup we're about to face up against. Alright, so I think that's going to pretty much do it for this episode. We actually got quite a bit done and learned quite a bit about the zombies. I think we've just about met every type of zombie we really can. And look at this. We have all of our plants. Every single one of our plants. Except for the bottom row. This is just, you know, upgraded plants, like I've said. Everything on the bottom row is just upgraded plants to plants we already have. But now we have every single plant. This is awesome. We've done it. We've come such a long way. It's such a good feeling. Can't you feel it? Can't you feel the excitement? Alright, so I guess in the next episode we will be taking on the last level before the final level, where we'll do one last classic Plants vs. Zombies, and then the final showdown against Plants vs. Zombies. So until then, I thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you next time.